And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast. Here we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I am your host, Austin Creed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome into the show today. You're in for a treat. For those of you who never heard the show before, welcome. For those of you who are one of the fans of the show, if that's what you like to call yourself, I welcome you back. I appreciate your patronage. Now, today we're talking about fitness and food. Yes, that's right. One thing that's often overlooked. Let me move my microphone real quick. The one thing that's really missed out on, overlooked, is nutrition. One thing that people fail to really pay attention to in their life is what they consume, how much they consume, because it adds up over time. Make no mistake about it. What you put in your body is the equivalent to what you put in your car. Let's say, for example, you owned a Ferrari, right? Beautiful car, nice car. You took care of it. It's wonderful. If you went to the gas station, would you put 87 in your Ferrari's gas tank? No, you probably wouldn't, would you? Would you put the 89? I don't think so. You probably wouldn't, right? You wouldn't want to damage your engine. You wouldn't want to damage this investment, this great car that you have. You wouldn't want to damage it. You put the 91 in, right? Or maybe the 93 or the 95. Yes, those exist for those of you who don't know. My point is this. Your body is that Ferrari. In fact, it's infinitely more valuable, and yet you're putting dreck and garbage in it every day of the week. And you wonder why your body looks like a pear shape. Sorry, I'm getting a call. I'll have to call him back. He knows who he is. You put junk in your body, and then you wonder why your body looks like a pear shape, why you don't have the physique that you want, and you're not aging gracefully, and you wonder why. Well, we're going to dive in, and we're breaking that down today because this is a subject I care very much about, as I want to age as gracefully as possible. I want to take care of myself, and I strongly encourage you to do the exact same thing, because if you're not, you are missing out. You're going to be one of these people that goes to an esthetician, that goes to a nutritionist, that goes to a dietitian, and you're going to go up to them and you're going to say, hey, you know what? I know I haven't taken care of myself in like 20 years, 30 years, but I have full faith in you and your expertise that you could turn back the hands of time and make me beautiful, make me handsome, make me the envy of everybody's eye. Well, let me tell you something. If you think that you are delusional, and yeah, we're going to avoid that today because I don't want you to be that person. And luckily for you, you tuned into the right show. So to let your voice be heard on this or any other topic that I've talked about in the past, you're going to have to bring up the episode. I crank out content daily, so you're going to have to be a little more specific. But to let your voice be heard, leave your thoughts, your comments, concerns, questions in the comment section below if you're watching this in video format. If you're listening to me on audio, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever, feel free to look me up on Twitter at Austin Creed, and I welcome you into the community. You can follow me over there. You can hit me up in the DMs, ask me a question about the show, about any topic that you think I should address, that you would love to hear me address. I would love to get any recommendations. I would love to hear where y'all's thoughts are and where your heads are at. If you feel so inclined, I'm going to grift for 1 second. If you feel so inclined, if you go to my Twitter page at Austin Creed and you click on the little URL I have linked in my bio, it'll send you over to the website that I have set up as like the mothership where I first started my podcast, and there's a link over there to my Patreon page. Now, I'm going to be building that up as time goes on for exclusive content for members only. But if you want to get over there first, I'm putting up more polls over there because I want your voice to be heard directly towards me, directly, I want to hear what you have to say, and I want your voice to really be counting. And you can even have a conversation. So here's here's what I'm going to do. Going forward is we're going to have this little opening because I want everybody who's new to learn. But without further ado, I've grifted long enough. Let's get into the show today. So like I said, we're talking about food and fitness today. So for those of you who don't know jack about nutrition, you were out with the flu in basic health class in high school, middle school, or maybe you were one of those people who did not pay attention whatsoever. You couldn't be bothered. Maybe you saw the food pyramid once or twice in the cafeteria when you walked by it in elementary school. Maybe you just think that it's a bunch of quackery. You're not interested. Or maybe you're older. Your doctor said, hey, you know what? You might want to lose some weight. Hey, you're not living a very healthy lifestyle. Not very sustainable. You might want to do something about that. Now, whatever your situation is, you're in for a good show, because I'm telling you, everything that I've come up with is A, part of research, and 2, I have experimented in my own life what works for me. Now, disclaimer, this works for me, Austin Creed. This might work for you, and I hope it does, because I make it very simple and very easy. But I want to let you know right now, it might not work exactly the way that it works for me, and if it doesn't, well, you're going to have to experiment and see what works for you. I don't know what else to tell you. But what I will say is this. There are some very basic fundamentals you need to know. Number one fundamental that you need to know is this. You need to stop eating fast food garbage. That's number one. Number one, stop eating fast food dreck and garbage. Fried food, while it tastes phenomenal, is garbage. Straight up garbage for you. High in calories, high in fat, not good. You need to eat more fruits and vegetables. That's number one. Number two, you need to find lean sources of protein. Now, I eat meat. I think, in my opinion, you should eat meat as well. But if you are a vegan or you're a vegetarian or whatever you are, you can find these options. They're available to you. Now, they might be harder to find, admittedly, but I don't want to hear these excuses of, well, Austin, it's not easy, so, I'm not going to do it. Or, hey, you know what, yeah, I could do that, but I'd rather just eat bacon grease. No. Look, this is your life, okay? You can do what you want. That's the beauty of life. You do what you want. You live in a free country. You're allowed to do what you want. The thing is, most people don't realize that when you're free to do what you want, you are then going to reap the consequences of the actions that you made. And you're not going to be able to sidestep that or talk your way out of it. Look, I wish I could talk my way out of my problems. It doesn't work that way. If I eat like garbage, my body's going to reflect that. If I eat really well, my body's going to reflect that, and so is yours, my friend. Because if you think you're going to break the laws of thermodynamics, if you think that you're some alien, and if you're a Kryptonian and you think that you cracked the code, please hit me up in the comment section of this video. I'd love to hear your secrets. But unless most of the time they're going to be garbage. Yeah. And by most of the time, I mean every time, because you can't beat the laws of nature. So, number one was eat more fruits and vegetables and leave the fried food out there. 2, lean sources of protein. You need more of it. I don't care if you're a woman, you're a man, non-binary, whatever it is you are. Do not leave protein at the door because your body needs it. Your hair needs it, by the way. How do you think I have such long and curly-ish hair? Number one, genetics, and number 2, because I eat a lot of protein. Protein is what you need for your hair. Number 3, my friends, when it comes to food, now this technically doesn't count as food, but I'm going to say it anyway. Throw out the dang soda. It's garbage. Minimize the alcohol and increase the water. Minimize the soda, increase the water. Stop drinking juice, for God's sakes. Juice is garbage. It's mostly sugar with a tad taste of actual juice. It doesn't have the fiber you actually need. Chuck that crap out of your fridge now. It's not okay. You need more water and less waste in your body. You need like a what are those things, like Yetis or a Hydro Flask or something like that and you need to refill that throughout the day. You will find yourself less hungry because a lot of the time you're hungry. Let's say, okay, I want everybody to be honest for a second. Okay, how many times in your life, and especially recently, have you maybe you're watching a show about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night? You're kind of hungry. You had dinner not that long ago, but you get the munchies, right? You want something. You probably reach in your pantry or your refrigerator and you get some unhealthy garbage, right? Right? Don't lie to me. I know you do it. Unfortunately, I still do it sometimes myself. But I'm telling you something. The more you mistreat your body and feed garbage into it, the harder it's going to be for you to perform. Going back to the Ferrari example I brought up earlier. If you keep putting that 87 or that 89 into your Ferrari, do you really think that the performance of the car is not going to be affected? Obviously it will. So what do? You don't put the fuel in there. That sucks. And you put in the fuel that's good. Duh. I mean, come on. No. You may ask, well, Austin, if you're so smart, what do? Oh, well, I'm so glad you asked. Let's see, what number am I on? I'm on number 4. Number 4, I've been giving you 3 already tips. Number 4 is this. When it comes down to it, carbs are not bad. Now, I know everybody is like, oh, carbs are bad. Carbs are evil. No, carbs aren't bad. You need fiber, and that's what, and carbs. Don't do these fad diets. That's number 4. Don't do a fad diet. Don't do carnivore. Don't do vegan. If you're just trying to do it to lose weight, don't do that. It's not sustainable. You need to do something that you experimented and you say, hey, you know what? This works for me. And it's sustainable. And I'm not just going to do it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and then go back to eating my garbage, go back to feeling like crap, go back to my unhealthy habits, and then before you know it, you're back in your old situation you were at 3 months ago, and then you're going to go back and do it again, and again, and again, and again, and you're going to say it works, and it's not working. You need a lifestyle change, not a dietary change. You need a lifestyle change. If you're something in your house that you don't like, get rid of it. If you have something that you want to do, start doing it. Your fitness is best when you're young, and most young people eat like garbage, and that's why youth is wasted on the young. You ever heard that saying before? I have. If you want to look good when you're older, if you want to perform well in the gym, if you want to perform well in bed, if you want to perform well in any facet of your life, whether it be spiritual, mental, physical, social, whatever it is, you need to take care of yourself, because not only is it going to help you feel better, it's going to help you perform better in every asset of your life. And it's not just going to happen at 1 month, 2 months, 3 months when you decide to pick your lazy ass up and go on a diet. It doesn't work that way. It's something that you have to do for a year. I used to be a lot heavier than I am right now. What did I do? I said, I don't like what's looking at me in the mirror, so what am I going to do about it? Well, I'm going to fix it. So that's what I did. I changed my lifestyle, and a year later, I've lost about 50 pounds. I feel fantastic. I'm in the gym, and I feel great. Now, I will admit to you, I lost the weight faster than I should have done it. I will be the first to admit that. I shouldn't have lost it the fastest. I lost it too fast. I lost a lot of the muscle that I'd gained. That was on me. So don't repeat those mistakes. You should, depending on where you're at, you should aim for about 1 to 2 pounds, usually about per week, depending on how heavy you are right now. If you're not obese or you're not overweight, should be half pound to a full pound. Do not try to really exceed that, because then you're going to lose the muscle, and then I could go on a whole lecture about metabolically active tissue and all that stuff. I could go on a full rant about it, and the show would probably be 45 minutes. I'll do another show on that another time. But when it comes down to it, your food affects your fitness, and that's why I'm doing this show today. You cannot outperform a bad diet. Even if you went to the gym and you were running and all this and you still ate like garbage, your results will be minimal in comparison to the amount of work you're actually putting in. Now, that's not to say you can't enjoy something every once in a while. That's what cheat meals are for. But your cheat meal is not a cheat day. It's not a cheat week. It's not a cheat life. It's a cheat meal. It's one thing, and one thing. Do not make your cheat meal once every other day or once every 3 days or whatever, because then you're going to be living for those cheat meals and hating what you're doing, and you should not do a diet you don't like. If you don't like your diet, stop doing it. Do something else, because you're going to resent your diet, and it's going to defeat the whole purpose. You're going to hate the way you look, and you're going to hate the way you're eating, and you're going to hate just everything, and you're going to feel like you're not actually making any difference, and your self-esteem is getting worse because you're doing things you hate. Stop doing things you hate and start doing things you like. If you like eating junk food, find junk food lower in calories that comes from healthier sources. Find the foods you like right now and find lower calorie alternatives and start walking more. Maybe get into running. Maybe get into fast walking if you're one of the moms in the suburbs. Do something that you like to do. You like playing basketball? Play more basketball. You like playing hockey? Play more hockey. You like playing football? Join a football league. There are things you can do. And I don't want to hear excuses of, oh, well, Austin, I don't have time. Well, then find a better job that gives you the time. This is your life, and you're throwing it away because of your excuses. If you don't like where your life is at, why are you doing these things? Seriously, if you don't like your life, why are you living the life you're living? Because you feel trapped? That's nonsense. Nonsense. If you're married, a little more complicated, because there are people who depend on you. If you're single, you got no excuse. It's just you. You can live in your car and get this stuff done. You can live in a cardboard box and still be doing the stuff that you want to be doing. Stop putting yourself down and stop telling yourself you're not worthy of living the life you want to live. Because that's why you think of yourself as a loser. And I don't want you to think of yourself that way. You're better than that. But you got to prove that to yourself. I can't do it for you. My friends, your food is crucial. Because if your fuel is not right, everything else is going to start a little bit off. If you can't get yourself on the right track to start with, you're going to have to work extra hard to do something that should have just come naturally because you're doing the right things. It sounds difficult. It's really not that hard. It's not. It sounds really complicated and difficult, but it's really not. It's little changes over time. Little things add up to big things. When you look at the massive picture, it seems really hard to change everything. But my friends, it's not. Let's say you're unhappy and you're living a really unhealthy lifestyle, okay? What do you do? Well, first, let's look at your diet. What are you eating? Well, then stop eating those things. Next time you go to the store, buy things that are different. And if there are things in your house like candy or whatever it is you don't want, chuck it. I guarantee you the money you think you're wasting will pale in comparison to the medical bills you'll be paying later. And mark my words, you will be paying them, whether it's for medication or surgeries or anything else, you will be paying it. If you don't pay now, you will pay later. You think that if you're paying up front for all the skincare and good quality food and all that stuff, trust me, it's more expensive on the back end when you got to get surgery or you have a stroke or heart attack, God forbid. That's going to be worse than that. It's going to be a lot more expensive on the back end. So do not think you're saving money by eating like garbage. Do not put that argument in front of me. It's a bunch of garbage. Do not try to pull that with me. It holds no weight. If you want to drop this weight, if you want to get more muscle, it starts with you. I can't make you do anything you wouldn't do. Don't want to do it. I wouldn't do it anyway because it'd be a waste of my time. You got to do what you want to do. If you want to have the best physical fitness you've ever had, you got to start eating better food in better portions at better times, and it's got to be planned. End of story. I could keep going on, but I think you get the point. And if you haven't, well, you're going to have to tune into the next show that I do on this topic then. Or look at the old shows I've done called Power and Prowess, where I touch on the similar issue, but more on the physical side of it and less on the nutrition and everything else. But my friends, if you enjoyed the show today, you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to direct them to the comment section or to my Twitter handle at Austin Creed. And I will be more than happy to respond to any questions, comments, concerns you have. But in the meantime, my friends, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. We're out of here. Have a great day. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, because this is something that will most likely be very personal. So if you want to DM me on Twitter at Austin Creed, I will give you the best example and best advice I can. I'm not a registered nutritionist or anything like that, but I will do my best to help. Anyways, my friends, you take care of yourselves. Peace.